defensive team in the history of mankind. And by the way, one thing about the Jets defense with Williams in the middle of it, last year they were atrocious against the run. They couldn't stop anybody. San Francisco, week 1, 180 yards rushing. They couldn't stop anybody last year defensively against the run. They were the most overrated run-stopping defense I've ever seen in my life. That's for Swagoo. He knows that. He don't think I'm going to fight him off on that. He knows that. But how in the world can anybody sit there and say they brought in a player here who's never played in a playoff game, who was anchoring a defense last year that couldn't stop the run? They gave up a second-round pick. They gave up a first-round pick, a second-round pick, and they got to take out all the money the guy's making. I mean, come on. And for a team that's 3-5-1 that's got no chance to make the playoffs this year, and I mean none. As Stevie said, I'll back them up for a change. No chance. And they're going to, I'm going to do handstands, Swagoo, because they brought Quinn and Williams in. The Jet fan today is doing handstands that they made this move. They're so excited.
They should be
overrated anyway.
They should be.
They're doing handstands.
That's a lie. That's a lie.
That's not true, Steve.
They didn't think he was overrated when he was going
They love the fact. They love this.
Jets fans are not excited.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
Jets fans are not. Woody Johnson is the owner of the New York Jets.
I'm talking about
they
the
have
trade.
been a walking abomination. There is no way in hell that the Jets fans and stuff like that are doing handstands.
Yes, they are.
Quinn and Williams is gone. They got.
Yes, they love the picks. They love the picks. They love these picks.
They're rebuilding again. They're rebuilding again.
Hey, Stephen A.
Doggy, you're relying on Woody Johnson to make the right choices. Nobody's confident in that about the New York Jets right now. Sorry, Doggy, you're wrong.
Well, Woody's not making the pick, Stephen.
I'll
The
say
new
this.
GM's going to make the pick.
I know that.
this.
Speaking of people that does.
Yeah. I hope for the Jets fans' sake, because they got a haul. And it is great to have a lot of picks and damn near control the draft. It's great. I just want to remind people, they drafted 2 quarterbacks in the top 5 over the last 10 years, and both of them are gone. So hopefully the new GM and the head coach makes the right decision. Sam Darnold in Seattle looking like the king of the NFL, and Zach Wilson is no longer there. So they've been in this position before. The picks mean nothing unless you get them right.
I got to get you right.
Quinn Williams can play football at a very high level.
Can we go back to how Jerry looks, though, Stephen A.? I want your take. You sat down with Jerry Jones on Monday. He told you he was going to make some moves, stuck to his word. Swagoo's excited about that. How do you think Jerry is perceived now today on Wednesday?
Well, listen, I think that if you're Jerry Jones, you're feeling pretty good about yourself because you believe that you're looking at the roster and you know it's vastly improved. And as a result of that, you're taking into account the fact that you lost Micah Parsons. We all know nothing replaces that, but the combination of a Quinn and Williams, a Logan Wilson, of a guy like, I'm sorry, you got Williams, you got Wilson, Logan Wilson as well. You acquired Kenny Clark. Those kind of things that I think you're looking at and you're saying, excuse me, you know what? I also bought myself a little bit more flexibility that I would not have had I re-signed Micah Parsons to the dollars that Micah Parsons wanted, which was north of $46 million. And so you're looking at it from that standpoint and you're trying to make the case, you know what, that you've done what you're supposed to do. I know how Jerry thinks. My flip side to that is, in the end, you got to close. And what that means is you got to win during the regular season. You got to be in the playoffs. And you know what? It's still been 29 years since you've been to a conference championship game, let alone a Super Bowl. And it's obviously going to approach 30 come January 28th. It'll be 30 years officially. So I'm looking at it from that standpoint. And I'm saying I get where he's coming from in terms of what he defines and qualifies as success. That don't mean the rest of us is going to look at it that way. I can look at you and say, all right, Jerry, you've improved this roster. You addressed the needs. You did that. But just like I brought up with Quinn and Williams, you know what? It would have been nice if Jerry had done this a week earlier. It would have been really, really nice if you had pulled this off a week earlier. Because you might have saved you a loss.
I can get behind that.
It might have saved you a loss or two. So once again, like Micah Parsons, you gonna make a move about Micah Parsons? Some people don't have a problem with Micah Parsons being gone. But they all say, damn, could you have done it earlier where you had more flexibility and you would have been able to get more compensation than you actually got from Green Bay for him? Once again, it's not just the move, it's about the timing. And when you look at Jerry Jones, that's what you have to embed in his brain. Look, all right, fine. That wasn't the wrong call, or this guy was the right call. But look at how late you did it. Look at how long it took. What took you so damn long? Because now where's it going to get you? Those are the kind of things that you're always asking about Jerry in that regard, and that's the problem.
Go ahead, Swagoo.
It's Stephen A. to Stephen A. point, there's two things that I can agree with him. The timing and the fact that you traded Micah Parsons to an NFC team. I thought those were horrible decisions by Jerry in that particular situation. Now when we get to this point, right, this is also about putting the whole of the parts as opposed to thinking that one guy is going to change the trajectory. And we've talked about this. We won't know if these things are successful for a year or two, right? Like the playoffs this year, it looks very bleak based on where they are right now and what they've shown offensively. As much as we talk about the defense, last 2 weeks on offense have been bad too, in case anybody been paying attention, which is supposed to be the catalyst for this football team. But ultimately, when we get to the conversation, this is about 26, 27, and going beyond. And Jerry knew if he stood pat and only depended on draft picks as opposed to some proven guys, this fan base would lose their mind. I think people are happy about Quentin Williams and Logan Wilson, but hopefully it's just the beginning of trying to build a roster that you actually feel like you can win a championship with. And let me remind everybody, they haven't done this for a very long time as going to get guys that have played at a high level in this league to bring them over and try to do a great job for them.
The day yesterday was not about the Dallas Cowboys. It really wasn't about the Indianapolis Colts. The day yesterday was about the Jets. That's what the day yesterday was about. They gave themselves an incredible cap space. They made two great signings in the summer with these two, especially with Gardner, and they made it possible that they can trade. And now the Jets, in the next two drafts, have 5 number 1 draft picks. The 27 draft, in which the Jets have 3 number 1 picks, the 27 draft is going to be a great draft. The Ohio State wide receiver. Everybody swears the quarterbacks are going to be very, very good. Supposedly it's going to be a monumental draft. Next year, this coming year, they got the Dallas pick and they got their own pick. They got an incredible, and they got a second round pick here too. They got the second round pick, they got the Colt pick, and they got the Dallas pick, and then they got their own pick, and then the next year they got the Colts themselves and Dallas. 5 number 1s in a second round plus salary cap space. And Woody Johnson, I love Steve. Woody Johnson's not making the picks. The new GM's going to make the picks. Aaron Glenn's going to make the picks. Now, if you're going to sit there and tell me that somehow they're going to screw up again, like Mark Sanchez, like Zach Wilson, I'll buy that. You don't guarantee you're going to get it right. You're 1,000% correct. But now they have the collateral to take a chance and find a quarterback, which they have not had since Namath left in the early 70s. And now they got a chance to do that.
Okay, see, and that's where the problem lies. Doggy's so busy talking, he ain't listening to his damn self. That's the damn problem with Doggy. He ain't even listening to his damn self. He just finished saying, what did he say, Shay? What did he say, Swagoo? He said they haven't done this since Namath in 1969. That's our point, Doggy. That's our point. So you've got a situation where you fast forward, all right, to all of these decades that have passed, spanning 50 plus years. You've been to a few AFC championship games under Bill